let's do it.
Welcome to Life Unleashed. I'm your host, Sierra Cooper, and today we have Dominique on the show. Hi, Dominique. How are you?
Hi, Sierra. Good. I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
Okay, so you're in Cali. You're in California. I'm in Florida. I'm sure the weather is amazing out there. I miss California, but I'll be out there at the end of May. So tell us a little bit about you. So, Dominique, where are you from? What's your story? I know I'm having you on to really talk about the Purium Wellness Nutrition line that I got involved in personally as a business, and I use every single day, and I very much love it, enjoy it. And you teach on this, you get people together, you educate people, and tell us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, I am originally from England. I grew up in England, and in 2016, I was in my 30s, decided to move over to California with my husband and children. So, we made the move from the UK over to the US. And I'd actually been through a very long health journey myself. Actually, from a very young age, from the age of 7, I dealt with chronic health issues, which really impacted my quality of life. And I went through life seeing doctor after doctor, trying to find a solution
Mhm.
with no real answers. And
What was your symptoms from an early child? What did you start experiencing when you were 7?
so from that age, I was dealing with health issues, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally too. So, for example, school was very stressful for me.
Yeah.
Just to try and process information. I had cognitive development issues. At the time, we didn't understand. Actually, it was from the inflammation from food and from the autoimmune conditions I was dealing with were impacting my health so much, impacting my gut, and because of that gut brain connection. But it took years and years to kind of understand this. Also, I wasn't able to do any sports. I was just so depleted. My energy levels were so low that even just to do normal activities that most people can do, it was very difficult for me. Um,
And so
Digestive issues too.
do what every other parent did back then, especially, over in the UK, just you were going roundabout with doctors, I imagine, for up teen amount of years. And then did anything change as you got into high school or college, or did you like say, hey, I've had enough of this. There's got to be solutions somewhere else. I mean, what took you that way?
Yeah, I guess I just kind of got used to living this way of life. I didn't really know any different. And I was just given antibiotic after antibiotic and just got used to being on that kind of treadmill. When later on in my later teens, I went to university. I went to Keele University in England to study psychology. And that's when I just couldn't keep up with the workload because I would read the information in the textbook and I
You
could read it 10 times and I couldn't process that information. So there was no way I was keeping up with completing this degree. I actually dropped out of university, dropped out of college. It was actually a few years later, after I had my first 2 children, that I met somebody that's more natural in the holistic world. And he did this testing, and we discovered that I was allergic to gluten, wheat, and so that's
Now, were
improvement
you
stuff.
also full of heavy metals? Because I know, like talking about demographically, right? The UK, just like New York, New Jersey, here in the States, there's certain Michigan, kind of where I'm from, Northwest Ohio, stuff like that. We have a higher radon level, stuff in the water, a lot of metals. So did, did you also have a heavy metal intox as well?
Yeah, it's interesting you ask that because since being on this journey, I have learned, and now I help other people
Hmm.
Understand that most chronic disease is caused by heavy metals, like you mentioned, mold, parasites, bacteria, and fungus. And if our body is not able to remove that, then our body starts to attack itself, right? Which then we know is autoimmune. So I definitely do or did have high levels of some of those things. In fact, I think everybody does to some extent, one or the other, right? But my body was just not getting the support to detox it, and I definitely wasn't getting the nutrition. So yeah.
Yeah, your autoimmune system pretty much shut down on you over a period of time. And so, that leads me to the question, right? And before I get into everything else, and I know I'm kind of going off the beaten path a little bit, but I know a lot of people that have had similar stories to yours. And then, they get married, they try to have this normal life, they have children. Were you afraid of passing anything down to your children as well? Because I know I've got a lot of clients that are like, I finally found a solution for me, and now I kind of want to just tweak my kids a little bit, because I know that's always kind of in the back of some of their minds, like, did I pass something down? What's going on? And now, have your children struggled with anything or anything like that?
Actually, yeah, but both of my children are very highly sensitive to certain foods like gluten and wheat.
Hmm.
But fortunately, because of my own health journey, I'm now able to help them, and we've been able to avoid a lot of issues and kind of nip it in the bud earlier. And yeah, it's been a blessing to teach my children to read ingredients, to read labels, and to try and stay away. It's harder for our kids, but to try and stay away from the processed food as much as possible.
Right. And so you met this gentleman, and he kind of was like, okay, this is what we need to do. At what point, because I know I get this a lot as a practitioner, um, a lot of people, they're seeking out many solutions, and it becomes very expensive, very time consuming, very expensive. And then they're like, what do I do? So did you get to kind of that point, like, oh my gosh, I'm being overloaded. Yes, this is helping me, but I got to find something else that is going to help me to be able to have more of a normal lifestyle.
Yeah, it's interesting because at the time we were living in England and it was a very simple test, and I was able to remove those foods and improve some of my health issues. So the stomach pain went away, the digestive issues, the bloating.
Mhm.
That being said, that inflammation in my brain, that constant brain fog, memory issues did not go away. Social anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, there was
Yeah.
still a lot more work to be done. And when we moved from England to America, that's when my health spiraled even more, which I believe is because of the increase in toxicity that we have to deal with here with our food
Big
system here in
time.
the US.
Big time. Absolutely. Now, we had mentioned a little bit ago, let me back up, um, that I personally found Purium, and it has benefited me immensely. I lost 11 pounds of water weight, which obviously I'm 39, so I got on testosterone too, right? So my body was kind of like influxing, and you couldn't really tell because I work out. But I would notice it because I'm pretty darn short. And so every little pound counts. And I also developed a little bit of a skin condition, not psoriasis, not eczema, none of that. And my derm looked at me and they're like, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm using this new nutrition line. I said, I had to seek this out because I have a lot of clients that they want convenience, they want affordability, they want something that lasts, something that works, and they want that automatic, like, There you go. And I just researched a lot, and this wine is like unbelievable. It's amazing. And it's helped so many of my clients personally as well. And my skin condition cleared up. And I met you, Dominique Williams, through Crystal May, which is my business partner down here in Southwest Florida. Um, and I just really was inspired by the whole experience. And so when you personally got on this nutrition line, was it like kind of a night and day difference? Because I know personally for me that I've done a lot of parasite cleanses, I've done a lot of different things, and it was more time consuming, right? And it was a little more in depth. This is very easy. I've replaced like my breakfast and my lunch with just this, and I work all the time. So for you it had to have been like a night and day overlap of like, wow, here we go. So who introduced you to Purium?
So in 2022, summer of, I was my heaviest weight. I was dealing with stubborn weight gain, this
Yeah.
chronic inflammation. I was also in a lot of pain. My joints hurt, my nerves hurt. I honestly felt at the age of 38, I felt like I was living inside the body of somebody that was 50 years older.
Yeah.
And I was just, honestly, I was praying for something to change. And a friend of mine who is a personal trainer, she's a makeup artist, personal trainer, very picky and selective over the ingredients that she uses for her and her kids. She
Mm-hmm.
shared about this program that she was doing herself personally. She shared about it on Instagram. And when I saw that it helped, with gut health, inflammation, healthy weight, I said, yes, sign me up. I'm in. I'm going to do it with you. And I didn't think twice about it. I really didn't know too much about it, but I trusted my friend. And I had no idea of all the added health benefits that would come along with it. I personally, and this is what we love about this nutrition, it's very flexible. You can fit it into your schedule, whether you are plant-based, carnivore, on the Mediterranean diet, keto, athlete, somebody that's looking for preventative or dealing with health issues. We love how flexible it is. But for myself, I followed it to the book, to a T, because I really wanted to feel those results and fast. And within 30 days, I just had a complete turnaround, profound health transformation.
And so, for a lot of people that are listening, that really don't know because there's so much out there, right? And so a lot of people are going to be skeptical. They're going to say, okay, well, I hate MLMs. I don't like to invest. I don't like to, because you've heard it all like me, right? Um, it's like crazy. I mean, people can literally try this out, and if they don't like it, they can ship it back, and that never happens, right? Like within like, I think the company gives you what, like 90 days to go, hey, I don't like this.
Yeah, the company gives you 60-day money back guarantee because they are so confident in this product. You will get guaranteed results if you follow it. You will get guaranteed results. So
I
yeah,
was
you
gonna say because everybody that's been skeptical, and I'm like, listen, I did my research, right? Because I know how people are. In this line, they literally say, okay, listen, we're going to contain our fields. We're not going to allow glyphosate to be sprayed all over this plant based product. So, number one, there you go. Number two, besides the glyphosate, they don't have extra fillers, they don't have extra additives. Everything is completely food grade based. Um, so that was another turn on, like, wow. And you get so much protein like out of these shakes. It's crazy. I've got the little blender at my work, and I literally can mix this up in 30 seconds and be good to go. Like, So tell me, in your experience with your personal touch on working with people with different health issues, what all kind of results have you seen with people over a period of what, 6, 7 years that you've been doing this now?
Yeah, it's almost 4 years that I've been with this superfood nutrition company, and um, it's just been amazing to work with so many different clients, who are already fit and healthy, and they come into this saying, "This, how is this going to make a difference for me? I already feel good." They still notice a difference in the way that they feel, um, energy levels, recovery from their workouts. We're working with clients with different autoimmune conditions, ranging from lupus, celiac disease, Sjogren's. We have 70 different autoimmune disease now, and people are just not getting the nutrition, the gut support that they need to support their health. Um, we're also working with clients with neurodegenerative disease and supporting them, and to see them getting improvements in their quality of life is it's just a joy to work and help people with this nutrition.
And also too, cardiac weight loss, excuse me, weight maintenance. You know, some people that have a hard time actually maintaining their weight, right? That have that higher metabolism and they're like, what do I do? This is a great alternative. And I literally have cut my grocery bill in half. I mean, that's great. I've introduced it to my mom, introduced it to even my 17-year-old daughter. Um, and they love it too. And, not just the taste, the quality, but it literally fills you up. And for a lot of people that have done different nutrition lines or shakes or whatever, sometimes they'll do these and then they'll go, well, I'm still hungry. This I found you're not. I found that I was good to go. It even helps people with addiction issues. I have had a couple of clients that have came to me personally and said, Sierra, I'm really struggling with, being addicted to sweets, sugar, overabundance of candida, or I've been really addicted to it because I'm in Florida. And some people are like, oh, it's 5 o'clock somewhere all the time. And I had one in particular that wasn't that old. She was like 37, 38 years old. She's like, I think I'm kind of like needing to slow up on my alcohol intake. And this also works with addiction issues, correct?
Yeah, the one of the core components of this nutrition program is the power shake, and some of the ingredients in there are bitter greens, which are used in the rehab clinics. So they actually help people combat addiction, whether it's alcohol, sugar addiction, drugs, and yeah, we've been able to help a lot of people that way as well.
And so for some of the products to go over, because I know like people like one of so she's so cute. I adore her. She just went on my website today actually, and she was like, "Oh my God, there's so many products and it all looks good. I want them all, but I don't know what to do first." Um, what would you say to people that are like they can do the perium transformation, the ULT, which is the full gamut, pretty much. Not everything, but it's like the very first thing you can do to really kind of get yourself jump started on your journey. But for some people that are like, well, I just want to start out with just a couple things. What's the top three that you would tell people to start with?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do. As you mentioned, I love to get my clients started on the ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is the gold standard. The reason being because no matter what condition of health we're in, we all need three things. We need our body to be cleansed,
Yeah.
nourished, and we need that repair work. And it takes care of all those things, as well as your sleep, hormones, gut health. Um, or the foundational pillars of health. Top three individual products, I think that I would have to choose the super amino, which
Mhm.
is that clean source of plant-based protein that you mentioned. A lot of us are eating chicken and steak. It takes a lot of our energy to break that down. Whereas with the super amino, because it's from plants and it's pre-digested, instead of utilizing 20 to 40% of the protein, like when we eat chicken and steak, you're actually getting 99.5% utilization of the protein, and it goes
That's,
straight to your muscles
yeah.
within 23 minutes. So that would be number one for me, because as well as giving you the essential amino acids, it's also supporting your collagen, tendons, brain matter, mental acuity, muscle mass, fat burn. There's so many amazing benefits to the
And
super.
you're definitely gonna look good, right? I mean, at any age. I was just doing an interview with a lady that is working with women over 50 going through menopause. And so talking about hormone health, progesterone, testosterone, all of that. Even for men that go through adrenopause and go through their own menopause. Um, this is really good stuff. I mean, and talking to men about prostate health and all of that. I mean, there's just so many changes that our body goes through. So what would be the next one? Would you say?
The next one would be Biomedic. I would say that's the most critical of our products because, unfortunately, as we know, here in the US and actually globally, we are having to deal with this toxic residue being sprayed on all of our food here in the US and globally, actually. Something called Roundup, which many of you will have heard about. You will have seen it in Home Depot. It's the number one pesticide herbicide in the world, and it's on our food and it can't be washed off. It's in
Known
the
as glyphosate. And so, like, when a lot of people write, so they'll come in and they'll be like, okay, so what you're saying is if I go to a grocery store and it's on the shelf, it is not food. And I'm like, correct. If it's on a shelf, there is no lifespan for it, and imagine what it does when you ingest it. And so all those ingredients that you can't even pronounce, right? I mean, that's all chemicals. Even like suntan lotion, all the chemicals that goes directly into your bloodstream. So the biomedic I think is absolutely incredible. I will say personally, when I first started taking it, I called Crystal and I'm like, holy hell, what is coming out of me? She laughed and she was like, I know. It's like black tar. I've done parasite cleanses. So I'm like, what is this? And I'm, knock on wood, healthy. It was like black tar. And all I could think was, wow, that's what was coming through my skin. That's what was going on with my skin condition. I was allergic to that. My body built up a tolerance, even though I would eat healthy. And a lot of people also argue this too. You're still going to have chemicals sprayed on that. So, what did it do for you?
So the biomedic, what it does and what it did for me is it puts the good gut bacteria back into our gut microbiome. Many of us have used antibiotics over and over again, which depletes that good gut bacteria. So it's putting the good gut bacteria back in, balancing our gut microbiome. When our gut is healthy, that our brain is healthy because of the gut-brain connection. And then at the same time, it's pulling the toxins out. We're exposed to thousands and thousands of toxins on a daily basis, in addition to glyphosate. But what we know is for many of us, like myself, with celiac disease, it's suggested that perhaps it's not because of the wheat and the gluten, it's because of what is being sprayed on the wheat and the gluten.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, now after using this biomedic along with the nutrition, I can go out to a restaurant now and I will still avoid gluten as much as I can when it's being sourced from outside, but I don't have to be as careful. I don't have to worry about cross contamination. It used to be very stressful for me to go to a restaurant because
Yeah.
even if something had touched something else where, another fryer where the gluten had been fried, I would still experience that autoimmune flare for the next few days and get very sick. Now, because of that gut repair work, I don't have to be as careful. I can actually do some gluten and wheat
Yeah,
that's also
I
good
was just
for
gonna
quality.
say it's amazing because I know, like, I'm part Mediterranean, right? So of course, pasta, right? Not that I'm like a huge pasta eater, but if you just went to quote unquote an Italian restaurant and had their bread or had their, and I'm not huge on bread either, but had their bread or had their pasta that wasn't, 100% made with the good stuff, I would bloat. And I kind of felt ick. I'm like, oh, this doesn't make me feel good. So, like, why would I even go there? Dairy, same thing. Same thing. Cheese, stuff like that. And I know with you being in Cali, I used to live in San Diego for a while, and I loved California for the fact that one thing that I miss is the food. Like some of the markets and some of the places that you can go and buy fresh. It's like it's totally different than here in Southwest Florida. So when people are experiencing, like you said, celiac, people with Crohn's, people with ulcerative colitis, diverticulitis, all this stuff, they go to the doctor and they're told one layer of information. But what are some other things that they really need to be diving in from a healthy, holistic standpoint and looking at so that they actually see the root of investing in their health?
Yeah, so I mean, for myself personally, I was seeing a specialist rheumatologist, and as I'm sure many people are also offered, I was offered pain medications, pain management, immunosuppressants. And for me, that was not a solution because that comes with more side effects. So, looking at the holistic side, that's when we're looking at removing the toxins in our body in a very gentle way, nourishing our body with good quality nutrient dense food, supporting the gut microbiome, and supporting our body to get that really deep restorative sleep, which is when our body does the repair work. And that's when our hormones are synthesized, that gut repair work is being done. So I would say those are the four main
And
elements.
I really applaud you for all your health stuff that you've been through, and you still maintain such a great attitude in helping people. And I think for a lot of people that are going to be listening, they really need to pay attention to you specifically because you are that person that I see all the time come into my office that has multiple issues. And it's a layer, it's like peeling off the layer of the onion, and it's exhausting. And I think that's one of the main reasons why people just stop and they give in and they're like, I just give up. I'm tired, Sierra. I'm just gonna go to my doctor and see what my doctor says. And what they don't understand, these Western medicine docs, who I have respect for both, but they don't have answers for the roots of the problem. It's like, here, here you go. This is what we know to do for you. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. That lead to other health issues. And so, what's the third product that you would say on your list of yummy stuff that you think people should like really, really take a look at? Like what, like let your inner child come out for like 15 seconds and think, like, I'm sorry, but it's like people have to have a little bit of fun, right? They don't have to be scared. What's your third product that you really enjoy?
It's honestly so hard because we do have so many nutritional products to support everything across the board: bone density, vision, hormone balance, you name it. I think
Yeah.
my third though would have to be Power Shake. It is the most nutritional product that we have. When you take one serving as a smoothie of this nutrition, you're getting more nutrition than most people will get over a few days. It's that potent in nutrients. We call it liquid sunshine. It has been, the ingredients have been, it's solar powered, low dehydrated, super green superfoods with
It's delicious. It's
yeah,
delicious.
delicious with the fiber intact. So we love to juice, but unfortunately it takes a lot of time to juice and it's very costly. With the Power Shake, the fiber is intact. You're getting all of your vitamins, minerals, digestive enzymes, nutrients. There's just so many health benefits that come along with it, and again, it's supporting your gut health at the same time, so it gives you that sustained energy, and it's very alkalizing as well. Sierra, you know that our body needs to be alkalized. It's very
Big time,
important.
big time.
Um, it's harder for disease to
You know
survive in an alkaline environment.
how
So,
many people, do you know how many people that are so brainwashed by all the wrong things that I've actually talked to, talking about personal trainers or people that actually are very intelligent, that actually they're not stupid by any means, but they're like, no, oh no, we can bodybuild, we can eat all kinds of junk. I mean, it's just craziness to me. It's like my clients that come in and they're so hooked on Coca-Cola, and I'm like, have you ever watched that YouTube video where the guy pours Coca-Cola on a rusted engine and it removes the rust? I'm like, what do you think this does to your GI tract? So Power Shake, I gotta say, it's delicious. I noticed an increase in energy even with doing what I do. I mean, I've got my whole thing right here in my office, and I have to say, because I've ordered like a million gazillion things, so I don't know if I can kind of get this into play here. But it's the vanilla chai, and for a lot of people that like having either that vanilla flavor or like having that chocolate, like the epigenesis, that's been lovely. I actually mix mine with coconut water. I know some people, just do water. And a lot of people that I've talked to, I'm like, no, stay away from dairy, non-dairy. That's the way to go, correct? With all these shakes.
yeah, we meet you where you're at with this nutrition. So don't be scared off at the thought of removing certain things that you love. Once you get this nutrition in your body, it will help you. You'll start to crave the real whole foods, the good foods. Dairy, we find, can be very inflammatory and acidic. Um,
There we
that
go.
being said, that some people like to have their raw milk, the health benefits from raw milk. But generally, we suggest our clients try and do coconut milk, almond milk, oat milk, organic as much as possible.
Well, and it's definitely in the research that, right, when your body gets 35% hypoxic on a cellular level, that mitochondria shuts down. And it's like, nope, I'm not going to work. And so there's been a lot of controversy in this country. I'm going to bring this up with you because you're like the absolute perfect person to bring it up to. You came from the UK, and you came to the United States. When you came here and you seen so many sick people, now granted, you already had health issues from different things, but when you look at Europe, and then you came here. I bet it was like extremely wow. Are you kidding me? Because everywhere you go, you see cancer centers, you see dialysis centers. What was your first couple of thoughts when you actually came here?
I mean, yes, just looking at comparing the ingredients labels on the food packaging here in the US compared to England, there's like 10 or 15 extra ingredients in the same product here in the US. And yeah, I feel like so many people are dealing with lifestyle disease, which is preventable. And you know, a lot of the clients I'm working with, they live out in places like New Orleans. It's a food desert out there, and like you said, there's dialysis centers on every corner. So it's just this sounds like doom and gloom, but actually, on a positive note, we have a solution here. We have a very simple solution that's helping thousands and thousands of people support their health by just getting good nutrition in their body with real food from the earth.
And tell us a little bit about the parasite detox. So I ordered that because I've done the herbal, I've done naturopathy, all of that. And I was interested to see how the parasite detox would work. I was pretty much amazed at how easy it is on your gut. You know, there is no hiccups. There is no, ooh, I just don't feel good. There is, you know, because everyone talks about that die off phase. And it can be pretty intense when you talk about acidic. If people are really god awful inflamed, and their acidity is through the roof and their pH is like down quite a bit. It can be kind of a rough patch. But what do you have to say about our parasite cleanse?
So parasites have not always been the most popular topic of discussion, but we're seeing now this topic is going crazy on social media. We're hearing a lot about the benefits of cleansing from parasites. What we love about this cleanse that we have here with this nutrition protocol is that it's very gentle, but it's very effective. So many people are busy in their daily lives, working a full-time job. They don't have time to do an intense cleanse. So the beauty of this one is it's very gentle. You can still carry on with your normal daily activities, but it's very effective and it will help to get rid of parasites, which, you know, Western doctors, they're testing stool samples, which some parasites live around the liver or around the heart or around the brain. So doing a stool test sample is not going to give you accurate results. We all have parasites. If we have a pulse, we have parasites, whether we eat sushi, whether we live with our dogs, have little kids, eat plants that haven't been washed properly, fruits and vegetables and salads. We all have parasites and they cause a myriad of health issues. And what was fascinating to me is parasites can live in the body for up to 30 years and they can cause digestive issues, brain fog, fatigue, mood disorders. They cause us to crave sugar. So when you do this parasite cleanse that Sierra loves too, you will notice you feel so much better.
Yeah, I thought it was a really easy cleanse, and it really was extremely effective, especially energy wise. Because we have, you know, we've got that real big thick book that of course I keep in my office because I'm always trying to show my clients, you know, because they are asking me about ingredients or like spirulina, chlorella, what root does this? And so it has a lot of really great things that usually when you do a cleanse, you have to buy individually. And so it's kind of all packed in. And for individuals that don't necessarily like to take pills or capsules, The other thing I wanted to say too, the biomedic, just like with the parasite, I mean, you can literally put that in a shake. It doesn't have to be like you're taking a ton of pills or supplements or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very flexible. And the beauty of this nutrition is you get one-to-one support with the health coach that you're working with. Your client, Sierra, will get the best support. And so, yeah, for those little kids that need this nutrition, we help parents, suggest putting it into their kids' shakes. So even our little kids can experience these health benefits as well. If you're somebody that doesn't like taking pills, we support people with that. We support our clients with
Even
that.
dogs, even dogs. I mean, like Crystal's dogs. She breaks up the biomedic in the food, and I mean, I can get into a lot of things. I can get into vaccines. I can get into the food and everything else that really leads into a lot of these very aggressive cancers or slow growing cancers that a lot of these people or animals are not going to exude all these symptoms. And so, we can't say cure or this or that or anything like that, but I would definitely recommend people check this nutrition line out because if you're really struggling or live in fear of getting something detrimental to your health, this is great. So, for you, Dominique, you lead people out in California, and I know you do a lot of educational practices. And so, if people are wanting to, really kind of uh, follow up with you, get in touch with you, ask you very important questions about sleep deprivation, like you said, depression, anxiety, different ways around some things to where they're not on a list of supplements or a list of medications or anything like that, and learn more about this line. Where do they find you?
So they can reach out through Instagram, send me a DM. My Instagram handle is Dominique Williams Health. And we offer 15-minute free consultation for anybody that's interested. You get full support, and we can customize the nutrition to your personal needs.
And I know too, when people sign up, they can also get a discount, correct?
Yes, there's a loyalty discount for customers. New customers can actually take advantage of a $50 gift code with us. Whether you reach out to Sierra, whether they reach out to Sierra or myself, they can utilize our $50 off or get that 25% discount moving forward as a loyal customer.
And so now, Dominique, just my last question to you. Are you developing anything new on your part, on your journey to kind of educate, streamline, get the word about Purium out a little bit more?
Yeah, so we are hosting regular weekly Zooms, educating about this nutrition, the health benefits, and we are doing a lot of in-person events. So if anybody is listening, Sierra, that's in the California area, we tend to do monthly in-person events that people are welcome to join us. And we're also really enjoying working with practitioners. We have many practitioners, doctors, nurses, chiropractors, physical therapists, personal trainers that we are helping them implement this nutrition for their clientele as well. And this way we can help a lot more people rather than just you and I. We have a growing team of partners, and this way we can touch thousands and thousands more lives and help more people feel better.
I was gonna say too, just in closing, being a practitioner myself, and getting more awareness out there of this nutritional line. Uh, the really great thing, if anybody is thinking about doing this as a business, it is so effective and it's so easy. I mean, you've got a backup team of people that if you have people around you, like clients or patients, so on and so forth, and you're like, well, I'm so busy, but I don't have a lot of time. There are ways around it when you do have a team of people kind of coercing everybody and into an effective lifestyle, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And the beauty of this business is anybody that's listening to this that is also interested in making an extra income, even stay at home moms that want to be home more with their kids. Some people will argue the best product in this with this nutrition company is the business because you can not only elevate your health, but you can also make an extra income stream at the same time as well. So yeah, you get that people get full support. We have an amazing team, free education every week, combined with personal development, self growth, and we really help you to utilize your time to make it as easy as possible, streamline, so that we understand many people that have their own business, like yourself, Sierra, but
Or
they want yeah, they want to help their clients with their health and nutrition. So we make it as easy as possible.
That's great. Well, thank you, Dominique. I really appreciate your time, and I really hope that a lot of viewers out there that they don't pass by this, that they really take into effect to at least just try it. Like I had mentioned earlier, it's like if you don't like it, you can send it back, but nobody ever does. And if they go to what is your website for them to look at all the products?
It best way is to come through your Instagram, Sierra, or my Instagram personally, so that we can get them set up to take advantage of the disc code. And then there's actually a link in my Instagram handle as well. So that would be the best way.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you, Dominique. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, I
Good
can't wait
being
to
here
have
with
you
you
back
today.
on.
Okay.
Bye bye.